And
Oh boy.
I looked the distance and also elevation gain, and that's okay. I mean, you can understand it. It's going to be a tough race, right? But there should be a reason why a race is a Western States qualifier, UTMB qualifier, and also hard rock qualifier. Yeah, I found it. When I ran the race.
Hey everyone, we are back with our Canadian Trails of the Western States.
But first, what's happening with GottaRunRacing?
Yeah, what is happening?
A lot, actually. We've opened registration for 4 races, 3 of which are new.
Wow.
That's exciting.
Big time. What's our first one?
Lost Treasure Trail Race.
I'm glad you said it because I always get tongue-tied.
It is a bit of a tongue twister. And that's going to take place at Mansfield Outdoor Center on May 14. 5 and a 10K.
Cool.
Yep.
And then the Fiddle 50.
Fiddle 50.
How many times can you go around in circles? We'll soon find out.
We will. You could do it up to 160 times if you like.
Or, hey, do as a relay.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun. I can't wait for that one.
And then we have, what's next?
Finally.
Yeah, Rainbow Trail Run.
3 times a charm, hopefully.
Finally in person. We had it for virtual for 2 years, and now we're going to get people there.
That's right, Earl Rowe Provincial Park.
In August.
First weekend in August, which is not the long weekend, just in case you're wondering. It's the weekend after the long weekend.
And then we're going to have the Island Lake Classic, 10th year.
That's right.
Still going strong. And of course,
Monday.
Chase the Coyote, coming up.
Coming up, more information about Coyote in soon.
Yeah, soon. It's always soon.
Always soon.
And who's on the podcast today?
Well, we have another Western States lottery ticket winner from Oakville, Ontario, Aytug Celikbas.
Yeah, he got in with 4 tickets?
Yes.
Yeah, 4 tickets.
Mm-hmm.
And each one was in a different country, I think. So I can't wait to hear about all that.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's going to be races that I would love to get to one day.
Yeah, he's originally from Turkey, so I can't wait to talk to him because Turkey's one of my most favorite places in the world.
All right. And here is Aytug coming up.
First of all, merhaba, Aytug Celikbas.
Merhaba.
I've been practicing all week. Aytug Celikbas.
Yeah, actually, you pronounce my name very well. Sometimes when I'm doing meetings, customers are asking how we can pronounce your name, and I'm telling them the easiest way to pronounce my name is Aytug, the letter I and the number 2.
Okay.
I know, Norman, you love Star Wars, so my daughter is actually making fun of me. Why don't you change your name in Instagram to like R2D2? Yes. Like why didn't you do that? She's keep asking me. And for my last name, you can pronounce like Celikbas. I think that's the easiest way.
Well, I wanted to do it in the proper way. So I listened to Google Translate.
Yeah.
And it came out Celikbas.
Yes. Then it's perfect. Yes, Celikbas.
Okay.
And you pronounce it now amazingly. Perfect.
Thank you. Well, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
And
I'm super excited. Yeah.
Yeah, you must be, because you were one of the fortunate Canadians to get a ticket in this year's, or a winning lottery ticket for Western States 2022.
Oh yeah. I still cannot believe I'm in Western States because, we will talk about that, but I only, applied for 3 times. I mean, I had 8 tickets total because I used one-time buy in 2018. So to be honest, I didn't think that I'm going to be in the race. I was very, very surprised and excited when I heard the news, actually.
Okay, we'll get into that later on. But first, let's start about your whole running career. How did you start running, or when did you start running?
It was 2012. Actually, it all started with the intention of losing some weight. After I married, I started to gain some weight, and I was thinking what I can do to get into the shape to lose those weights. And at that time, my brother had been running like 3 years, and he was keep telling me to start running. And he advised me to use an application, mobile application, Coach to 5K. Mm-hmm. And I installed the application, but didn't use it immediately. So me and my wife actually decided to swim instead of running. Okay. And there was a swimming pool which was close to our home, and we were going there to swim like 3-4 days a week for about a month. But it ended up in hospital due to food poisoning. So we stopped swimming, and for a couple of weeks I didn't do anything. I was again thinking what I can do, and I remembered this application that my brother advised. So to this day, actually, I still remember the exact date. My first run. It was July 5th, 2012. Wow. And I went out and opened up this application and start running. Actually, it was I followed the program, and it was a 9 weeks program, which allows you to run 30 minutes without stopping, or 5K without stopping. And I followed the program and managed to run my first 5K at the end of August. I was super happy. And after that, I immediately signed up to a 10K road race, a local road race, and started to train that race. And that 10K followed by 15K followed by half marathon and full marathon. It goes that way. And at that time, my brother was running like, serious ultra marathons like UTMB. And I continue with the ultra marathons. So my first ultra marathon was 50K, a trail race, a local 50K. And then I continue with the longer and harder, ultra marathon races. And then, I did a couple of sky trail races. I did 24-hour race, and also I finished the Spartathlon as well.
So let's go back to the first one. Where was the first race? What was the name of it, and where was this first race?
Actually, at that time, I was living in Istanbul. So it was a local race called Çekmeköy trail race. It was a 50K with, I believe, 1,000 meters of elevation gain. Mm-hmm. And I was training, in that area, so I was familiar with the terrain and hills and all those kind of things. So it went very well, actually. I mean, it was a little bit hard, due to the distance and, after transition from road races to the trail races. But I managed to finish it. So it was great. I mean, the feeling was great. And then I immediately think about the longer distances and, harder races.
Start with what we think is your first ticket race back in 2015. Would that be Cappadocia?
No, actually. It was UTMB. Because the Cappadocia was the shorter distance. I mean, I ran like 60K, not the longest distance. Today, if you run 110K in Cappadocia, actually, it gives a ticket, but the shorter distance didn't give. So my first run was UTMB, actually.
Well,
before we get there, then
we want to know about Cappadocia, because it's absolutely stunning. So
yes, yeah. Actually, in 2015, 2015, I ran the shorter course, which was 60K. And actually, after that year, I couldn't run again because we moved to Canada in 2017,
Right.
and then now it's an overseas race for me. I know the organization is amazing. I know the organizers, and it's an amazing race. I mean, all the terrain, all those hills and all those kind of things are amazing. But I couldn't find a chance to go back and race. Actually, I was thinking to do the longer one.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, in the coming years, I can go and run again.
That race is on my bucket list as well because
Yes.
I've been to Cappadocia. I did the hot air ballooning, of course.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I have to take Norm there because he wasn't with me on that trip.
Let's talk Western States ticket races.
Oh yeah.
From what I saw on Ultra Sign Up, your first ticket race was Lavaredo, but I'm not too sure if he used it as a ticket or not.
That's right. Actually, I noticed that, before I talk with you, I was looking my races, just to refresh my memory. And I saw, Lavaredo there.
Yeah.
And also I run CCC as well.
That's
the
right.
shorter distance in the UTMB, races. And I didn't think about, using them as a, Western States lottery tickets. To be honest, at that time, I didn't think about going into the Western States. So it started after I ran UTMB because that year, I ran UTMB in 2017, and that's the year I moved to Canada. So, and at that year, I read the Scott Jurek's book, Born to Run.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I knew Western States before, I ran UTMB, but I wasn't thinking to run, or I didn't know that race was that popular at that time. So after I read the book, and also after I moved to Canada, then I started to think maybe I can do Western States since I'm in North America. And since I ran the UTMB, I wanted to use that as a ticket. And once you get into the lottery, you know how it goes. You need to find another race, another year, and then actually it went that way. Interesting,
because we did chat with Rachel Sklar, who did Lavaredo, and she also did Cappadocia.
Yes.
Cappadocia.
I listened to podcasts as well. Yeah.
Oh, to Rachel? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'm just curious because tell me more about Lavaredo, because it obviously looks stunning, and one day I would love to get there.
Yeah.
I was wondering.
It is.
Give us a little tidbit about Lavaredo.
Yeah, I would say it's a very scenic race. There are some massive peaks, and there are some never-ending climbs. Similar to other European races that you can see. There are no. I mean, there are some switchback climbs, but usually in Europe the climbs are direct. You go all the way to the top, and all these climbs are super long, and some downhills are also very long, and there are some steep downhill sections. And if you are not trained for those type of terrain, it might be hard for quads, especially after hours and hours of running, and similar to UTMB. But the course is great. Organization is amazing. It starts in a small town called Cortina. And I found that race, it was a great experience, I would say.
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah.
Curious about UTMB then. How did you get into UTMB?
Mm.
How did that happen?
Yeah, actually, before UTMB, I ran Lavaredo, I ran CCC, Iznik, and also I ran some shorter distances, 80K, like 2 years before UTMB. And also I did a Sky Trail race as well. I mean, all of those races were given points for UTMB, but my major races, the points that I used for UTMB was Lavaredo, CCC, and Iznik. Those were the 3 races.
Did you get in on first year, second year?
No, in the second year. Actually, first in 2016, I ran CCC. Okay. The CCC course is exactly the same of the second half of the UTMB. Mm-hmm. So after Courmayeur, it is exactly the same course.
Right.
So I knew the second half of UTMB. And after I did the CCC, the next year in 2017, I did the full UTMB course.
Did it live up to its hype?
I'm sorry?
Did it live up to the hype?
Yeah, actually, it was an amazing. Being there with all those runners, and after I finished, I cannot explain those feelings. It was an amazing experience. I love that little town, Chamonix, France, and there is a reason why it is called World Summit of Trail Races. So, that experience was really amazing. I was super happy when I finished the race. But all those mountains, all scenic. The terrain was hard, but it was amazing being there, seeing all those mountains and views. It was a great experience.
Did your brother run it that year?
No, he did it maybe in 2013 or 14.
Okay.
Yeah, a couple of years before I did it.
Okay.
And at that year, he did CCC actually.
Oh, okay.
Because he was at the finish line when I was finishing UTMB.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he was waiting for me.
That's great.
For me. Yeah.
All right. So in 2018, now you're living in Canada.
Yes.
And I assume it was easier at that point in time to choose a Canadian race for your ticket. So you went to Quebec for a mega trail?
That's right. Actually, again, a very interesting story. I did the Quebec Mega Trail, but at that time it was 100K. And I'm a little bit confused because I remember I ran the race, but I didn't use that race as a Western States ticket because if I'm not wrong, at that year, it wasn't a qualifier.
Oh.
Because when I'm checking the race in its website, it is now 110 and it's a Western qualifier. Because I remember that year, I also signed up for Harricana, Harricana Ultra Trail, but I couldn't be able to do the race. So that's why I used one-time buy in 2018.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
was looking the Western States qualifiers, and I was very surprised when I see the Quebec Mega Trail name in the list because I didn't use it as a ticket, and I was very desperate when I couldn't run the Harricana. And at that year, I was super lucky because they offered one-time buy, and I used it that year.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
There we
So
go.
you're more lucky than we thought.
I think I'm one of the most luckiest runners who got into the Western States. Really, really. Actually, my qualifiers are there, but I didn't use them. Yeah. And
That's how
to be
confident
honest,
you are.
oh yeah,
Okay, I don't need to use this one. Right?
That's funny.
yeah. By the way, when I ran the UTMB, I also applied to hard rock as well, because UTMB is also qualifier for hard rock.
Yes.
And I wanted to continue my chance to hard rock as well.
Mhm.
So when I was looking those races, I found Cruel Jewel in Georgia. And
boy.
I looked the distance and also elevation gain, and that's okay. I mean, you can understand it. It's going to be a tough race, right? But there should be a reason why a race is Western States qualifier, UTMB qualifier, and also hard rock qualifier. Yeah, I found it. When I ran the race.
You found out why.
Yeah, I found out why. Actually, it was one of the toughest races that I ran.
Thank you very much. Because I have also done Cruel Jewel.
100K.
Okay. But I still lose sleep over it. I still wake up in a cold sweat. And that was 6 years ago.
Yeah, it was really, really tough. The biggest challenge for me about that race was the heat, actually. It was in May, and going that race from Canada in May, it was really, really tough. So I started a race. I started to run, and after 40K, I couldn't be able to keep up with the liquids that I was taking. I mean, and at 40K point in checkpoint, I set like 40 minutes, and I was thinking, how will I go the next, 130K? By the way, that year, if I'm not wrong, the race itself is 170 kilometers or something like that. But that year, there was some change. And when I finished, actually, my watch was showing 180K.
Oh.
Yeah. It's not a small difference. And but the race itself is great. I mean, it's very, very well organized. I mean, all those mountains. Actually, what I found interesting, all those climbs, it's similar to UTMB, because I remember there were a lot of long climbs. That's how you got like 80,000 meters of climb total or something like that.
It's just never ending. It's never ending.
Yes.
As soon as you go down, you're up. You're up.
And I remember at one climb, I was so desperate because I was out of water, and I sat down. Really, I couldn't go. I couldn't keep up going up, and I was hearing some voices, like wind voices, but I was thinking it was a kind of river.
Oh.
I was like dreaming because I was so thirsty. That wind noise, it was like a river for me, and I was looking and asking people if there is a river close by, because I was that desperate.
What also is also funny about that race is because when I did the 100K, I was passing 100-milers who's been out there for 35, 37, 38 hours. So when you had these 100K runners passing you, how defeating
exactly
did you feel?
Totally. I mean, it took me 37 and a half hours for me to finish the race. I was thinking I was doing very well, but after I finished, it took 37 hours. It was tough. But I had the Western States qualifier, and and
you had a lot on the line.
Qualifier as well. Yeah.
You had a lot on the line, and so there was just no way that you're going to quit this race, right? There's just no way. There's no way.
Yeah, exactly.
So that is Cruel Jewel, and it lives up to its name. It is a very cruel race.
Exactly. Actually, for this year, again, I did check the race just to see if the registration is still open or not, but it was all sold out.
Yeah. It's very popular, though. It's very
popular. It is. Yeah. It is.
I want to move on because of the same year. You went and did the Spartathlon, is that right? Same year as Cruel Jewel?
Yes, that's right.
So you're really up for some punishment.
Exactly. After Cruel Jewel in September, at the end of September, I ran Spartathlon, 246 kilometers, and I ran in 35 hours, 34 minutes. Actually, the cutoff time is 36 hours.
Pretty close, eh?
Yes. You're actually talking seconds in a 5K race.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
pretty
exactly.
Close.
Yeah, actually, I walked like the last 30K because, I did my calculations and, I understood that I'm going to make it. So, I wasn't, in a hurry, I would say. So I took my time and walk all the, 30 kilometers, last 30 kilometers.
There's a lot of roads in that race, is there not? It's a lot of road running.
In Spartathlon?
Yeah.
All of it is on the road, actually.
Oh, the whole thing is on the road.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the whole thing. Do you know the story behind it?
It's the Philipp. I can't say the word. His name, Philippides.
Philippides. Yes. Yeah. Basically, it is based on the run of Philippides. So, based on the records of Greek historian Herodotus, a Greek messenger, Philippides ran from Athens to Sparta before the Battle of Marathon in a day and a half to seek against the Persians.
Interesting enough, when we chatted with Sebastian, the year he did it, he had to face a hurricane.
Yes.
So how was your overall?
Actually, usually it is too hot when you warm. I mean, it's very warm when you run because in Greece at the end of September it is still so warm the weather. And my year, again, it was very, very warm, like 37, 38 degrees Celsius. And actually, it was very humid, like 90% of humidity. It was tough. Yeah, but it's not only the distance itself. I mean, 246 kilometers, it's really long. But the main challenge is the cutoffs. So the race itself has 75 checkpoints, and every checkpoint has its own cutoff. So, for example, let me give you an example. 80-kilometer mark, one of the major checkpoints, it has 9.5 hour cutoff time.
That's pretty tight.
Wow.
Exactly.
That's very tight. You gotta be prepared for just that section.
Exactly. Actually, it is going a little bit more on the other sections, but you need to be fast for the first 80K. Just to have a buffer for the other part of the race. Yes.
Wow. Very cool.
And the time between that race and Cruel Jewel was pretty much similar.
We're very similar.
Exactly.
You're running another 80K.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just gives you an idea.
That gives you an idea about Cruel Jewel being hard.
Yeah.
But Spartathlon is also difficult as well.
Yeah, it is. It is.
You really do pick some hard ones.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
But that race is, that race is defines me actually. I mean, it's an amazing race, and I want to do that race as many as I mean I can do actually.
So you want to keep going back and keep doing
exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
This year I
Wow.
will apply again.
Very nice.
Hmm.
So your last and final ticket, I believe, was Harricana.
Harricana, yes.
And that was smack dab in the middle of the pandemic. I know in September of 20, there was a little window where we were in a good position. But what was it like running during the pandemic?
Did you hear about this pandemic?
Yeah. Actually, it was very well organized. I mean, the race itself was very well organized, and also it was well organized for COVID conditions as well. So, I mean, we started with the masks and with the waves. Like you need to be like 2 meters apart with each other,
Right.
and then we'd start with the waves, like I don't know, 15, 20 runners at a time, and you need to wait like 30 seconds or maybe 40 seconds before so after the previous runners.
The previous wave, yeah.
But it was a hard race as well. Actually, I wasn't expected that much, I would say. I mean, it's because the terrain is technical. I mean, full of rocks. Roots, and it's not. Always rolling hills actually. And
it's so funny because you've done such hard races.
Exactly.
You're out there for 37 hours, and then you think, "Oh, I'll do Harricana. It's going to be it's going to be a little trek in the forest." It's a hard race.
Yeah, it's a hard race. I mean, as mentioned, I wasn't expected that hard. I mean, and there are some sections where you use your hands actually.
Right.
I mean, you cannot climb without using your hands. It's so steep.
Wow. Wow.
That's Quebec.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but the views are amazing. I mean, mountains and all those forests are amazing.
Great.
But it was a tough race.
So how did you finally find out that you got into Western States? Give us the day.
Actually, I was in Istanbul, home, and I was just going to the bed. I mean, I was going to sleep. And before sleeping, actually, I checked my mobile phone. I saw the notification, like Western States registration, not registration.
We took your payment.
Yeah. I couldn't remember the notification, but yeah, I saw WSER, and I immediately understood. Actually, I was amazed when I saw the email, and it was saying, you have, short time to register or something like that. And it didn't say like how many days we have. So I immediately register and immediately pay the yeah.
Just to make sure it wasn't a dream.
Exactly, just to make sure. And I couldn't sleep actually. I was thinking about like 2-3 hours, and it was an amazing feeling. I didn't watch the lottery because I didn't think I was going to be in the the race. I had like 8 tickets, and after I was in Western States, actually I checked what was my chance into the race, and it was like 8% or something like that. Yeah, I was super excited, super happy when I saw the email. Actually, I didn't expect it.
Well, thank you so much, Aytug.
Yeah, thank you very much. I mean, it was a pleasure talking with you. It was great.
Okay, take care.
Thank you so much.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, that was Aytug Celikbas.
Very good.
I'm practicing. for our trip.
What a guy. Yeah. What a guy. He's done some serious epic races, some very hard ones all over the world.
And in a short period of time. He hasn't really been running that long.
No, he just wants to go after the big wigs.
Well, it's smart to do it when you're a little bit younger too,
And
as we found out.
yeah. And fresh into the running scene.
Mm-hmm.
But can't wait to meet him at Squaw, and hopefully before that do some training
you
runs.
gotta have him up here. Show him the hills of Hockley.
Yeah, maybe the hills of Hockley like Cruel Jewel, just in a little short version of it.
There you go.
Never ending rolling. So there you go. That's Aytug.
That's Aytug.